everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Jon.
I'm a Barbara.
I'm also.
Jon, where's your energy,
Gavin.
Jon?
My energy's fine. I was laughing at your little waiting on your camera to turn to you stall.
We're professionals.
What do you mean? Where's my energy? I was laughing. What more? What do you want from me?
Well, I feel like the my energetic intro, then you immediately went into like, I'm going to counteract that by being like,
It's
I'm
yin
Jon.
and yang. You got to have them. They complement each other. You can't just have all energy.
That's true.
You're all the yins to my yang.
Very good.
Oh, yuck.
All right, that's it. Thanks for
All
watching,
right, I'll
everybody.
see you guys later.
Yeah,
Bye.
end it.
Out
Yeah.
of our misery.
I've been drinking one White Claw every week, and I think when we start, all right, hold on. And I
Wait for
think
the
when I
punchline.
started the box,
No. That could just be the story right there. I've been drinking one White Claw a week.
Yeah, every week.
That's just a funny thing to declare.
Every week on the podcast, I've been grabbing one from the box of 24, and I think there were 3 missing when I started. This is the last one. Have we
shit.
really been doing 21 weeks now? of
Yeah,
this?
this is 5 months. Almost next week will be 5 months that we've been doing them remotely. March 23rd was
too
the last
many.
one. In,
Too many,
in
Gus.
the office.
We're
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
up
I
on
agree.
half a year.
Woo! Listen,
No.
we missed the steak off already. What do we do about that? We're gonna miss Ice Cream Sunday Monday.
We missed
No,
the steak
bullshit.
off. How will I cheat this time?
No, they'll just
Oh,
roll
no.
over. We'll do a double steak off next year.
Gavin, you know what we should do? Okay, Eric, you're gonna make this happen. On the day we're finally back in the studio doing the podcast again, we're gonna do every event we've missed all on the same episode. We're gonna have a steak off. We're gonna have
Yeah.
Sunday Monday. If we're still not there by Shrove Tuesday, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have a
Pancakes.
Taco Monday. All of them. We're gonna do when we get back. It's gonna be such a big celebration. We're gonna do every event in the
So wait,
in that episode.
it's
Choice.
Sunday, Monday, but you said Taco Monday, which was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Taco Tuesday,
Taco
Monday.
Tuesday, Monday.
Monday.
Right. And then Sunday, Monday, steak off and pancake day collection.
We'll do them all.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is don't eat anything 2 days leading up to this event because we're
No,
just-
the podcast is just going to take place at Golden Corral.
What if could we make a sandwich with, instead of bread, it's pancakes, and instead of like ham, it's steak. Like get the
Yeah,
steak off,
yeah.
encapsulated
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
pancakes.
How about
And then
this?
pour syrup over it, and then just take a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
bite out of it.
How
you
about
can,
a
but
pancake,
you should.
a pancake steak sphere, not a steak ball, Eric.
So that way I can do exactly what you say and somehow still get everyone going, that actually wasn't right.
Do you think you did exactly what I said? Do you
Yes.
think that's what happened?
Uh-huh.
I want to say, chat's pretty excited right now. Chat is
I see a
loving
lot
this
of yes
idea.
in chat.
So we're going to make a sandwich with pancakes and steak, or what is Gavin saying? We're
Yeah,
putting it in a
yeah.
bowl? What's happening?
Well, and pizza.
Pizza?
And
Oh, the pizza sphere, yeah. So you got to have
Yeah.
some aspect of pizza sphere in this.
The pizza sphere can be sort of the encasement, and inside is different sized pancakes going up. At the widest diameter, it's a ribeye, and then smaller pancakes covered in a pizza between 2 slices of bread. I hope you wrote that down.
Yeah, I got it. I'm
Okay.
going to do that exactly, and then everyone will be like, this isn't what he described, and then send me an Eric Andre clip where he did it 4 years ago, but I've never seen it, so...
Eric, that might be the thing you're most defensive about
Listen,
during
we
your
have-
tenure at this
Yeah,
company.
miserable.
we have something to look forward to finally. At the end of all of this, we can look forward to this grand event we're going to have.
Oh.
It's like we have a reason to keep going. If I want to eat a pancake steak sandwich, that's what I'm going to do the day we're back in the office.
Okay, but someone in chat said a ball is a sphere. Yes, but what we described was pizzas getting bigger and getting smaller to make the sphere, not
right.
just
It's not just a
ball
clump of pizza, which is
of
what.
pizza.
Which
Yeah, I'm
I'll be fair, Eric. I
don't
think you did.
understand!
You did a fantastic job, Eric. I'm in your corner, man. It was fantastic. It was delicious. I think you did the best you could with the information you had. But I think what Gavin is picturing will never live up to what actually happens because
What don't you understand about it, Eric?
You just described what I made. It's a
No.
pizza. It has a diameter in the middle that's the largest, and it's the sizes change. It's equidistant from left to right as it is up to down. It's what I made.
That is a pizza sphere.
Gavin just wanted a bunch of pizzas
Yeah.
to be stacked on top of each other from smallest to largest to smallest again.
Yeah, Barbara totally
Barbara,
gets it.
That's what I made.
No.
That's
Yes!
No, it's not.
That's what I made. And then I wrapped a pizza around it so that way it held its shape. It's what I made!
Oh, I never got
it!
the description. I never got the description of what you made. I ate what you made at some point, but it might have been like an early version. But if you did do like the stack and then just wrapped it, I think you did exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's
did it.
exactly what I did.
You did
That's
wrap it.
exactly.
Maybe that's what
I did
putting you off.
exactly. I did exactly what you described.
I think what happened, Eric.
Listen to me. I made
got
it.
it.
to
He's
your
hacked our system.
specifications. I drew it out. I tested it many times. I did it. Damn it. I did it every way you wanted it, left, right, and center, and you couldn't appreciate it, not even for a second. You couldn't even love it the way you should have. You couldn't give yourself over to the pizza sphere.
You're
Why are
But
you
that's
so
okay.
zoomed in?
What
Because
is
I
happening?
know I did it. Because I know I did it.
Okay, Eric. Here's
that
the
what we're
problem.
doing?
I forgot that was on the inside. What you did is you blinded the creation. You encased it, and then and therefore didn't appreciate it.
It wouldn't hold.
The structural
otherwise.
integrity of the pizza
You-
was saved.
You had to think about this. A building wouldn't get made without rebar. Things have to happen that hold the structure together. Gavin, I know I didn't do it slow enough for you, so you could put it in 600 frames a second, but I made it the way you wanted. Do you understand me? And stop sending me
do.
the Eric Andre clip. Stop
guys.
sending me the Eric Andre clip.
I like
Stop.
do
pizza
understand.
too. I like pizza too. Pizza's very
Yeah.
important. Jesus Christ.
21 weeks in quarantine.
Can
Is
you
this what we're
believe
doing?
The Pizza Sphere
Are we just
podcast
doing
I have
was
this?
no
July
digital Zoom on my
31st
webcam.
last year.
This is where we're at now.
It's been over a year since the Pizza Sphere blew everyone's mind.
That feels like it was
I feel
eternity
like-
Did
ago.
it blow people's mind?
I feel
Yeah.
like it disappointed everyone, but that's only because I didn't truly understand the construction.
But now you do.
So
do
I
you have a newfound
apologize, Eric.
appreciation for it now?
I did, yeah.
But let's return to our plans of the day of binging when we return to working at the office and all the food we're going to make on the same day for the same podcast.
I had a stomach ache today, and I couldn't figure out why I had a stomach ache today until I recalled everything I ate yesterday for my cheat day, which in hindsight,
Pizza sphere?
I think I went a little overboard.
John, me too. I think we both had a cheat day yesterday. We had pizza for lunch, and then
I don't
for
think
dinner.
your cheat day is gonna match mine.
I don't think so either. We had a pizza for lunch, and then for dinner we ordered Chewy's, which you guys know, living in Austin, is an Austin local place, Mexican place, delicious. Ordered way too much food because we were lazy and we're like, we ordered food for lunch. Let's order food again for dinner. And I woke up this morning with severe stomach cramps and did not have a great morning because of it. But my body does not enjoy when
But-
I do that to it.
Was it worth it though?
Oh, 100,000%, Gus. It was
absolutely,
one
yeah.
of the best meals of my life last night, having Chewy's.
Good. Then
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
Choice.
that's all that matters.
Worth it. But I definitely, not gonna lie, took at least one of my meetings in the bathroom this morning.
We were in a meeting. I don't remember exactly who was in it. I think John and Barbara were also in this meeting maybe last week or the week before, and there were a few of us on it. And all of a sudden, I guess Blaine was in the video conference on his laptop, and all of a sudden he started moving around and walking around. Then he said, "Oh shit, I needed to go to the bathroom," and I almost took the laptop with me in there while I was on the call with you guys.
He just almost absentmindedly walked in the bathroom and just didn't even think about the action he was taking while he was still on the call with video.
Oh, with video, yeah.
Yeah. He almost just took us, that's how comfortable he's getting.
I think we're all getting more and more comfortable with it because this is our only form of communication these days, especially like at Rooster Teeth, is we take all of our meetings via video call, and it just like, you don't even think about it anymore because it's so second nature at this point.
Yeah, you don't think about it until 2 minutes before the podcast goes live. Discord goes down for some fucking reason. You have to scramble to find a new way to communicate with everybody. Why the fuck does Discord always go down?
It's probably being used more than usual right now.
Bring back
but it's
MSN.
been 5 months. Bring back MSN. Is MSN Messenger gone?
It's gotta be,
Well,
man, right?
they changed it to Windows Live, and then they binned the whole thing, I think.
Did they? Yeah, Windows Live Messenger. Yeah, I
Let's
guess
bring back ICQ.
they killed it in 2012. Wow. ICQ, that's even older. ICQ, they killed that.
It's like
Oh,
early
they're still
90s.
releasing that.
What?
Is Google Plus still a thing?
No, they killed Google Plus.
Oh, that thing that was like invite only for a while. Google
Well,
Plus?
Gmail was invite only for a while.
Really?
I remember Gmail Beta. I remember that when it was
Yeah,
had
lasted
that
about
little tag
8
over
years.
the logo.
I got a letter in the mail the other day. I don't want to brag, but I'm going to receive part of a settlement from a class action lawsuit against Google Plus. Not going to brag. I could get $8 out of it.
Whoa. What are you gonna spend it on?
You actually applied to get the money?
I guess. I don't know. I just got the letter that was like, you're in this class action lawsuit. Go to this website. So I went to the website and I filled it out.
Oh, I got the same email, but also considering that I get income from Google, I didn't feel like taking the money.
Think about it this way. They're going to spend the money regardless. If you don't take the money, some lawyer's going to get the money. Like Google's going to pay the money regardless of whether or not you take it.
I don't know. I just felt
Yeah,
a bit
you
morally
participating doesn't take more.
morally crossed. It's like it would be like me using AdBlock. Like I just don't out of.
Yeah, but it's not the same. They lost a lawsuit and they have to pay money for it.
Lawyers gotta eat too, Gus.
Well, they're going to get a certain amount of money. I just don't want them getting my money. It's like, it's a couple bucks. I'm going to get like, I don't know, a block of tofu or something.
Could we
for it.
please get a clip of you after this podcast leaning out your window going, "It's my money and I want it now"?
I'm going to call JG Wentworth.
Also, I feel really bad. John, we completely skipped over what you ate on your cheat day, and now I'm really curious to know.
I started my story and Barbara's like, "No, this is my story.
took
This is
it.
my."
Well, what did you eat, John? Okay, so the bar has been set high by Barbara. Oh, God. What did you eat?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
All right. First breakfast was a bowl of cereal, giant bowl of, there's a cereal that's Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms combined. And then I combined with that some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then along with that, I had a frozen breakfast sandwich, like a little croissant breakfast sandwich. And then next to that, I had a little frozen kolache. That was first breakfast. Second breakfast was a venti iced latte from Starbucks and a old-fashioned glazed donut from Starbucks. Lunch was Alamo Drafthouse buffalo cauliflower, omnivore pizza, and chocolate chip cookie shake.
Yes,
like 1,000 calories alone is the shake.
Dinner was a Taco Bell steak quesadilla, nacho double-decker crunch taco, and a beefy 5-layer burrito. Dinner dessert was some Ben & Jerry's ice cream and 2 chocolate cake bites. They're like these like almost like cake pops.
Hell yeah.
And then I got hungry later.
You got hungry?
And I had another small bowl of cereal and another kolache.
Yes.
And then I couldn't go to sleep, so I just munched on some more Cheez-Its.
Hell.
Dude, well, I mean, you're a
Yes.
very active person, right? You're probably burning through most of that. I'd say it's deserved.
It's what I mean, it's I don't normally go that ham. That's actually quite excessive, and I do not recommend that to anybody for cheat meals, cheat days, anything. Do not do that. The only reason that I rationalize times like that is that, yes, Gavin, I am a very active person throughout the week. The same day I did a full hour workout, and also went for a 6-mile hike that day.
Life is about balance, guys.
But also all throughout the week, I also count calories and hit macros all throughout the week that are heavily controlled and completely bonkers for most people to try to even like live like this. But it's how I like to eat. It's how I enjoy it. But so that's me normal during the week. And then Sunday, I just like destroy the stomach lining of my body with that kind of stuff.
I'm imagining you kind of like Jabba the Hutt on Sundays. Like you're just like bringing in all your food. You're just like, me saw have some kolaches.
It's
Is Jabba the Hutt on the podcast with us?
Fuck you, Gus.
but I don't normally
perfect.
go. I don't normally go that hard. But then like today, I just was like, why am I feeling sick to my stomach? It's really weird. And I was like drinking my water this morning, all that kind of stuff. And I figured I was on my walk doing like a walk this morning, and I was like just counting everything that I did. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
Were you
that's
just
why
happy as hell while you were sucking all that food down? Were you just full of joy?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll say this: if I read out everything I ate for the 6 other days of the week, you would be like, "That sounds like a terrible way to live, John. You must hate life. Like, love yourself, doing anything." But no, like I like what I eat during the week, and then Sunday's a fucking holiday every single week for me. It is Christmas Day every single Sunday for me. I wake up Sunday morning and I immediately go make a bowl of cereal, and I love it. It is like crack. It is fantastic, and that's because it's just a special event every single week that I get
Is
to
it
make
the
for
same
myself.
cereal every week, or is it like you change it up?
I change it up. I have a good like 6 boxes of cereal in my pantry that I go through and that kind of thing. But yes, it was I 100%. I eating all that food was fantastic. I also ate Taco Bell in the bathtub. That's how I had my dinner.
Oh my god. I don't
Why
know,
in the bathtub?
I've never been someone who can eat food in the bath. Like,
I love
if I
bath-
dropped
bath
any
dinner.
in, it would go soggy. I would be trapped with the wet food. It sounds like
I
an
have-
absolute nightmare.
I have a little bath tray thing that connects to the two sides of my bath,
Yeah.
and it has like a little stand for my little tablet that I watch a movie on, and then I have my drink there, and I'm just sitting there eating my beefy 5-layer burrito while I watch,
With just pieces
Muppets.
of ground beef just dripping out into the bathtub.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
Here's my question with that: when you drop like an oily onion into your bath or something like that, a big lump of meat, where do you put it? What do you do with it? You just leave
Dropping
it?
food in the bath is for amateurs. I am a professional. I wrap my food perfectly so nothing falls. Not a
You've never
single,
dropped a
not a
crumb.
single crumb of that steak quesadilla fell in the bath. Okay.
I'm impressed.
I think the worst thing
impressed.
ever. I don't know how often you guys take baths. John, I assume you probably take the most baths out of anyone here except for me. I would assume based off the story. Yes,
I love
maybe?
baths.
Okay.
I love baths.
I don't mind them. I'll take
Have
one
you-
every so often.
Have you ever gotten like everything ready for your bath? Like you got music, the lights, maybe candles, like whatever you got going for your bath time to make it nice. You get in, it's nice and warm, and then you realize you gotta pee.
Yeah,
That ever happened
all
to
the
you
time.
guys?
All the
pee in the
time.
bath?
You get out.
And then you get out and you're like dripping now because you gotta like hobble across the floor and not slip. And also you're fucking cold now because you're wet and walking over to the bathroom.
Listen, this is your own fault. You've trained your body to pee in the bathtub.
What?
By
No,
peeing in the
I
shower.
have-
You pee in the shower. So now you get in the tub and your body thinks it's time to pee, and that's what's happening.
He's right.
You know?
I don't think so. I think my excuse is that I drink about 170 ounces of water a day,
Yeah.
and so I'm in a constant state of pee. I have to pee right now, and I'm gonna have to pee again. Even if I went right now, I'd have to pee again the next half hour. It's just
I
that's
feel like
that's also how you also eat 10,000 calories on a Sunday. Is that throughout the rest of the week you drink like 170 ounces of water every single day?
I don't get the
And pee in the
peeing thing,
bathtub.
but the other day, it was like a month ago, I was just I was having a night bath, like a little sort of relaxing wind down. But I was like brushing my teeth and stuff before, and I got in the bath, but it was before I'd spat out my mouthwash.
Wait, so you were like still gurgling your mouthwash
Yeah,
while
I
you
just forgot. I just forgot to cause it out. I was still working. I was still like, oh, and I just sat down in the bath. I was like, damn it.
what'd you do?
I just gozzed it over the side.
Over the side. Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
whole wet area, right? I've seen even the solo
Yeah, it's
guys.
my-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my shower. Yeah, that's why when I dived headfirst into my bathtub, everyone's like, "How long did that take to clear up all that water?" I was like, "Oh, there's a drain right there. I didn't It just evaporated and went down the drain. It was fine.
Also, I feel like we
That's
can't,
not fresh there now.
we can't get too far away from this because I do recall at the start of working from home, quarantine, back in March, I remember requesting of you, Gavin and Gus, to try just once peeing in the shower during this time. Because why not? It's time to try new things. And you guys both agreed to it.
Yeah.
Has there been any movement?
I did it. All right.
Yeah!
I did it too.
I hated it. I'm not doing that again.
Oh,
I-
it's
I-
the best thing in the world.
It's the worst.
I'll be
and
honest.
also just like getting to pee without like holding anything and standing there. You just let it pee.
Yeah,
into
I get to
the
pee
drain.
standing
It's
up
great.
for the only time in my life.
it felt right. Like, it felt nice. But I was so worried that someone would walk in.
The only person who would walk in is Meg. And do you care if she sees you peeing in the shower?
Yeah. If I'm just stood there with this like urine flying out the end of my penis, yeah, that'd be weird.
Lying at the end of your penis. It's not like a projectile vomit type thing. That happens to me and Trevor where he'll warn me if he's about to pee when he's in the shower because I could see the shower from our sinks and he'll be like, "Don't look here for 20 seconds." And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
got it." And vice versa.
That's my favorite part of having a relationship, not watching each other pee. It's being comfortable enough with each other that you can say things like that and it's like, okay, I won't look, you're gonna pee. Like, I love that level of like just transparency of like, yes, we're all just creatures who have to do things. We're not gonna act like, oh, we don't pee, we don't poop, and we don't fart and that kind of thing. It's like, no, fuck that. We're all creatures.
I told you guys the story about how Trevor and I broke that seal of like not going to the bathroom in front of each other because that's your personal time, but like being open about like, I need to number 2 right now.
Yeah.
So it might be a period of time. It was when we both went to a certain Greek restaurant that's nearby the office and went back to his place and both immediately got food poisoning.
Oh, no.
And luckily he had 2 bathrooms because I was like, I'm gonna use your bathroom for a second if you don't. He's like, I'm actually gonna go to the bathroom too. And we were like texting each other during this being like, are you okay? Are you also not doing so well right now? And he's like, yep. So that was
Dude,
the first time we like,
there's no better icebreaker than a bout of food poisoning. Just to
absolutely.
really sort of realize everything.
I would almost encourage new couples to get food poisoning together just to break that seal. Just kidding, please don't.
My apartment is so small and the bathroom is literally centralized. There's nothing I can do to hide me taking a toozy here.
It's,
As well you
it's
shouldn't.
known.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're all
It is
just
what it is.
big water bags that have. Occasionally, we have to get rid of a little bit of
Water
it.
bags.
Water
Yeah.
bags.
You know, I saw a video on our website this week.
Oh no! I'm having a bad
hate it.
connection.
Yeah?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
just,
I think I also have to go.
I don't know what the video is. Gavin, finish your story.
You're also guilty, John.
You're guilty as well, you son of a bitch.
I don't fucking care. What's the story?
We've been playing Factorio
There was a
without
video.
Gavin.
The video was uploaded.
yeah.
It was now it was Gus and Barbara playing Factorio.
At least the
Yep.
video that Gus and I did's not coming out because the footage got corrupted.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
Yeah, it got corrupted. It was literally shutting down Cameron's premiere every 15 seconds.
Good.
How did you find out about that video, Gavin?
I just saw it. I saw a Factorio thumbnail and I was like, is this a new son of a bitch? So I left a comment on it.
Yeah. Your comment was, what the fuck? Which I think is actually, someone pointed this out, it's just ripe for meme material because what I did was I clicked on all comments and the first one was, what the fuck from you? And so it just said all comments, what the fuck? So I feel like that'll be a good meme for just responding to things that are really shitty.
So
Yeah, I tried obviously to delete the video from the website, but I don't have that kind of power. I don't know how to do that.
So I looked it up, Gavin. I was curious. Do you want to take a guess as to what the maximum number of players in a multiplayer Factorio game is?
I bet it's insanely high.
Oh yeah, I saw a video
gonna
of
read-
someone.
50.
You should guess.
He said 50.
50?
The maximum number, the hard limit for players is 65,535.
You wouldn't have to automate anything. Just hire people.
Oh my god. Does that mean that we can host a game with as many people as possible? Like if we grab as many people from the Rooster Teeth community
That's a good idea.
and just did a swarm game of Factorio?
There is friendly fire. We have to be careful.
There is friendly fire.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to fill the game. That's more slots than there are people who would ever join.
That's probably more people than who play Factorio.
Let us know in chat. I'm looking at people. I'm reading chat right over here. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in joining with us. We should try to get that going.
Yeah, I see
we
what you're
have
doing.
to
I
do
see
that
what you're
now.
doing. Not only have you played with Barbara and John, Gus, you now want to play with every single person who
Listen,
watches the podcast.
I was
going to
say,
with me.
also,
You would be in there too.
I was gonna say a rule has to be you don't invite Gavin. You invite 65,000 other people, but not
Yeah.
Gavin.
I think
Son of a bitch!
That's
Oh,
more
man.
people than the town I grew up in. The town I grew up in was like 20,000 people. It was like if everyone in the town I grew up with had 3 computers and all logged into Factorio at the same time, that would be the equivalent of playing a multiplayer game of Factorio.
How long would it take to load that game with that many people on one map?
Unless the server was powerful enough, it would break the game. But I think that would be part of the fun is seeing. I mean, sometimes it's fun just to try to break games. And so I think that would be part of it is just like get as many people in there as possible and just have them do stuff and craft stuff and build stuff until the game just goes, no.
Yeah.
And just
You know
turns
how in the
off.
game you get the bots that fly around and get shit for you and stuff? You could just...
Yeah.
That would be people. You would have just a swarm of people like doing everything by hand. You wouldn't have to build a single machine.
I see a video here on YouTube that got uploaded 7 months ago. It's got 1 million views, and it's a video of 500 players on a Factorio server all at the same time.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing that. So when you
What
said
does it
how many
look
people,
like?
I knew it was a lot.
I'm going to put it in our chat here, just so you guys can see it if you want.
On our new call or original call?
Also, the game
our
just left-
video call.
The game just left beta for the first time, right?
Yeah, the game has officially left beta, and there's like spider tanks in it now. I don't know if you saw that. I guess it's part of the final release. You can make spider tanks that can shoot nuclear weapons at the enemies on the map.
Dude, I can't believe it was in early access for like 7 years, and I played it like 1 month before it came out officially.
Well, the reason that I started talking about it again recently that inspired you to play was I read the announcement that they were leaving early access and they were finally going to release into final version. So that's why I started playing again and started talking about it.
Yeah.
This video
there-
makes me so insanely anxious.
There is so much going on.
You can't follow it.
The best thing would be to try to then like get everybody into like a Discord server or something where you could talk to everybody and just give orders of like, all right, everybody mine stone and put it into something.
Well,
I don't know. Like
you'd have to break it down, right? Like one person in charge, like of like 10 people who are in charge of 10 people, like, and they just keep breaking it down. It'd be like having to try to command like a giant military force. Like you can't talk to everyone at once. You have to have a chain of command to pass
do it.
orders down through.
we're gonna do it. I'm putting it on the books. We're gonna do it.
But in all seriousness, I think this would be something really fun to do. But in addition to that, Gavin, we should play Factorio with you. I think that would be fun if we did.
I just
like
like
a
the idea
little
of being
group shoot.
in there with, hundreds of community members, but I'm trying to get Gus's attention. I'm like, Gus! Gus, I'm in! It's like 1,000 other people.
I'm also going to post a video over here of the new Spidertron as well, in case y'all haven't seen that.
Oh no,
Where are you posting this?
In the VMix
chat.
chat.
VMix chat.
Oh.
I like how you call yourself the Pickle Man.
The Pickle
in
Man.
VMix.
Oh, you want to see? You want me to show you my pickles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get progress.
Are they ready to eat?
No, not yet.
Experiment number 1.
Damn.
Look
Okay.
at Gus in his little shorts.
It's casual Gus. Look at this. Look at those pickles.
Those are some cloudy
Dude.
pickles.
That's looking like it's coming on.
They'll be ready supposedly on Wednesday.
Are you going to drop them off so we can try them on the podcast?
I'm going to be honest with you, Gavin. I'm really scared that they might cause botulism. So I'm going to eat one first. And if I don't get sick, then I'll share them with you.
How do you get botulism from a pickle?
I don't know, but like after I talked about it last week on the podcast, people kept saying I tried making pickles like that once and I got botulism. So now I'm terrified that I did something wrong.
Is botulism something that you recover from?
Yeah, you can. I don't know.
I'm reading that it could be fatal and require emergency medical care. So, Gus, I kind of don't even want you to try it.
But then I'll have wasted like $1 in cucumbers if I don't eat them.
Oh no!
Is there like a strip
so
of
sorry.
paper that you can dunk in and it detects botulism?
I don't
Like
think so.
if it lights up a funny color?
So we'll
Like
see.
testing like for an STD or something.
So yeah, we'll see. They'll be ready on Wednesday.
just
If I don't know, let me look at my calendar for Thursday. I might have to call in sick. So if you need me for something on Thursday, I might not make it.
We got D&D on
Oh
Thursday.
shit, we have D&D on Thursday.
It's a very important day.
Yeah.
We're finally getting somewhere in that campaign. We need our dungeon dad.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, no. We'll have D&D. I'll make it. I promise. But
And
so
yes,
I've
I
been
did
playing-
Google immediately because I wanted to see. I don't know much about botulism, but now I do. Google's
I've been
great.
because of like people kept always hear me talk about playing Factorio. So people have always been recommending that I try to play Satisfactory, which is like a first person version of Factorio. So I started playing that as well, like last week or the week before, and I'm putting some time into it. And it's a fun game, and there's like research trees, and it's I feel like it's a lot earlier in development. Obviously, Factorio was in development a long time. It's it was very close to done. It was very complete for a long time. Satisfactory definitely has some things in the game that you find that are like, this is a work in progress. This doesn't do anything yet. But today I finally got the research tree down to a point where I was able to build a gun. I had I've been so scared the entire time playing this game. I was like, man, these animals, if I see them, it's really hard to kill them. They're going to kill me. Now I've got a gun. I'm walking around like, fuck you. I get to shoot you. Like, I'm not afraid of anything in that game anymore. I'm walking around fearless, shooting every animal I can find. And I think that's so, I don't know, it's like so indicative of the human condition. It's like humans live in terror of every animal in the world until you have like a leg up on them with technology. And you're like, fuck you, I am wiping you off of the planet.
I did the exact same thing in Factorio because I played with the aliens on, and the moment I got a nuclear-powered tank that could haul ass and just drive over the nests, I would just hunt them down. Every like couple of hours, I would just be like, they're getting close, and I would just drive the perimeter and annihilate everything. But at the beginning of the game, I was like, oh shit, I was like placing turrets, freaking out, and trying to place turrets, then place another turret closer to get the ones that the first turret wasn't reaching.
Well,
Yeah, it's like, it was satisfying.
Yeah, at that stage, it's almost like a tower defense game where you have like a network of turrets that offer layers of protection. But yeah, Satisfactory, it's fun. I think I like Factorio more, but Satisfactory is also a lot of fun.
I
It's
had
a very,
way
very
more
different
fun
game.
playing Factorio with you, Gus, than I ever did by myself. And I think it's because like trying to learn and do it by myself, I was like, okay, this feels like a lot of kind of homework. Doesn't necessarily feel that fun. I could see like getting into it more and like having things work together. But like playing with you, it made me understand the entire thing so much better.
Yeah,
And,
I think it helps to learn, like to ask someone else questions, just because the game is so open-ended. It doesn't hold, I mean, it does hold your hand a little bit at the beginning, but you reach a point where it doesn't really tell you what stuff does. You just
Right.
kind of have to like trial and error, figure it out. Like, I think even to this day, Gavin, you never got your signal network working for your trains, right?
No, I couldn't figure it out to save my life. I did the tutorial and I was like, I completed it and I was like, I don't know what I just did to beat that.
Wait, what does the signal network do?
You can like automate your, you tell me, Gus. I don't even know what it is.
So if you get your signal network working right, you can automate loading and unloading your trains, and you can have multiple trains on the same track and have signaling so that they don't collide with each other.
Okay, well then let the record show that I'm better at Factorio than Gavin because I figured it out.
I had automated trains that could
I'll write it
unload
in.
and load, but they wouldn't. I couldn't have multiple trains on the same track. Like they wouldn't wait for each other and stuff. And
Right,
I was too lazy to build. So I had like an area above where my base was that my train would auto go to and collect resources. But then to get my uranium, I had to go way further. But I was too lazy to build a second track, and I didn't know how to work the signals. So I would just like, I put another train on the same track, and then I extended the track beyond where my other train was going, and I would just have to wait and hope that my train
giant
was
loop.
coming back the other way. So I would see my train go like, woo, and I'd be like, go, 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 go. And I'd try and get out of there before it came back. It was terrifying.
I got really into The Sims again during my vacation time the other week, and the obsession has returned. I don't know. Are you guys Sims
love The
players?
Sims.
Oh yeah,
Love
I've played The Sims quite a bit. Yeah.
Are you any of you like Sims 4 players,
No.
or did you stop? After,
Never,
like,
not directly. I've seen plenty of gameplays, but no, I haven't played it directly.
I'm having such nostalgia with it because this was around the time I actually discovered Rooster Teeth, so I was like 13, 14-ish, that age. I used to spend more time downloading mods for that game than I did playing it because I was obsessed with finding like different outfits and hairstyles and furniture and stuff so I could make things look good. But then I became so obsessed with downloading stuff that I found more joy in doing that than actually playing the game. It was like shopping almost. And so I found out there's an entire, of course, there's millions and millions of downloads available for The Sims 4, so I've just been doing that all the time, like downloading new furniture and outfits and things like that, because obviously we're not going outside, so I'm like, I want to do decorating and shopping and make my Sims live this kind of lifestyle because I'm not doing that, so I'm living vicariously through them. But I was gonna make a joke while you guys were talking about Factorio and like setting this up, and that has to happen. I was like, yeah, man, when my person's sleeping, they gotta get their energy up, but they also have to pee at the same time, so I gotta manage waking them up to go pee and go back to sleep.
You just set up a signal network that's attached to their bladder to make emptying it more efficient. Duh.
It's so much fun though. I love that game so much.
It's a very bingeable game. I feel like whenever I pick up The Sims, it's like a heavy 2 weeks of just simming it, and then I put it down and never play it
Especially with all the expansion packs that they have, like especially the pets one and the seasons one. It adds so much to that game, and I've just been making families and adopting pets like crazy because I was like, I want to play with a dog, and now I get to play with dogs in this game.
Can the pets die?
I think they do. I haven't played through enough of one family to find out, but I think they do get old and pass away eventually. But
It's tragic.
man, like I get to like train them and feed them and tell them to go potty, and they're afraid of the dishwasher. It's like real life.
We filmed a video in Sims 4 a few weeks ago that I think Gavin would have liked to have been a part of.
Yeah.
And I think it's coming out relatively soon. That's
Weird that I wasn't invited or anything. even
you
though
have your
knew
own
that
people to play games with.
Hey, Gavin, I invited you to my video that I shot with you last week.
Thanks,
so
John.
I just want to put on the record that I did
Thanks,
invite
man.
you to a video.
So I had ordered this brand new gaming PC specifically for Microsoft Flight Simulator and for Cyberpunk 2077 when they come out. And the first game I played on it was Sims 4. It was when we did that video. I was like, it's total overkill.
What graphics card do you got in there?
The
You probably
RTX
told me last time.
2080 Super.
So have you played Flight Sim?
No, it comes out tomorrow.
Ooh.
I just set my region to Japan and I played it today.
You liar! You can only preload.
No, I was playing it.
What plane were you flying?
I took a picture of you playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Flying.
Hold on.
Were you playing with your keyboard and mouse?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be your time code. It would be your IP where it's at.
Ooh.
That's me flying over. That was from JFK. I also flew over Austin, and I flew from. I wanted to fly from Heathrow to Austin in real time, but I had to do the podcast.
Hey, if I get disconnected, I'm changing my region, and so just so you guys know.
Yeah, you just do it on the. You just need the Microsoft Store in a region where it's already come out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they've removed crashing.
Really?
Where's the fun in that? They took out
What do you
brutal,
do?
explosive plane crashes. It just cuts to a black screen saying you crashed, which I
Well,
think.
technically, that's how you would experience it, right? If it's simulating it.
Yeah, you would
You're
cut
not
to a
wrong.
black screen.
You don't get
But,
to have that third-person perspective of the explosion.
I guess we live in a much more sensitive world to plane-related incidents. But still, it's a simulator. The crash is. If I was in a driving simulator and there was no crashing, I'd be like, "Where's half the game?"
People like a good aviation disaster podcast. I speak from personal experience. I don't know if you can see over here. I'm gonna put. Can I get my wide? Can I get my single shot?
Yes,
I have my throttles here. Do you see that, Gavin? For my flight simulator, I installed it on my desk today.
Yeah.
Do you have a yoke thing or a joystick or
Yeah,
anything?
it's over there. I got a yoke.
Are you a joystick guy?
No, I got a yoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
During our
that's what I
meeting
want.
today, Gus was on the floor setting up his, I think, what was it, pedals or something
I was
like
building my my flight simulator stuff.
that. So Gus was called into the meeting, like hovered on the ground. So it was just his head popping up onto his webcam from below his desk as he was just listening from down there. He's like, I'm installing my flight simulator. It's important.
Got to be ready.
He's so
Yeah,
excited.
it was. It's like super detailed because I guess they pull like satellite imagery as you fly.
Yeah,
It looks good, man. It's a good looking game.
I'm so excited for that game.
I was
can't
doing
wait.
some 4K 120 FPS action. Smooth.
What is any level of advancement or objective completion in that game?
You
That's like
take off
saying,
and you
like,
land.
That's what are you doing when you fly a real plane?
Okay, so the answer
take
is
off and you land.
that it is solely a vanilla simulator, and that it is just simulating the experience. It is not a game with a narrative progression to
No.
any extent. What is there anything that stops you from being able to get certain planes or certain things, or is just everything unlocked and open for you once you start the game?
They locked certain planes and airports out based on different editions of the game. So, like, the basic version of the game comes with so many planes and airports, and you have to pay for, like, the deluxe edition that has more, and then, like, the ultimate edition that has more than that. As far as this game, I don't know, you'd have to ask Gavin. In the past, I think everything was pretty much open from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I played for like 40 minutes before we started, so I didn't really look around a ton. But
Does
it
the
looks nice.
game introduce any unforeseen difficulties at any point?
In the past version of the game, you could fly with difficulties if you wanted to. There was also, in the past versions, there was a setting you could enable where there was a chance that something would go wrong during your flight, and you wouldn't know what it was, and you'd have to diagnose it as if it was a real problem in the plane.
My biggest
Gotcha.
difficulty so far was I started on a runway and it said release the parking brake with control and number pad delete. And my keyboard didn't have a number pad, so I was like, huh.
Uh-oh.
I guess you're crashing. Game
So
over.
I had to remap some keys.
Are there any other? Is it all single player with any population of other pilots NPCs, or is it multiplayer with other people? What is
don't
it
even
just
know.
you? That's it.
There was multiplayer in previous versions. I don't know if there is in this one. In my Flight Simulator 2020 multiplayer. Let me look.
Like,
There's
would
even
there
like
be any?
moving traffic and stuff.
Yeah, is there other traffic? Like, is there any point you'd have to like just be taxiing on the runway waiting?
I
for
didn't
your
see any
chance?
airport traffic, but I was flying pretty low over Austin and there were people on 35 driving around.
So it simulates
Microsoft Flight Simulator
people.
will bring all the pilots on the planet together in multiplayer. That includes virtual pilots and live air traffic from around the world.
So it's
That's
going
so
to populate
cool.
the game with NPCs of real flights going on.
It looks like it says they'll be pulling in live data of aircraft currently in flight in the real world. So you can have weather and lighting be identical to current conditions wherever you're flying, and you can also have other planes in the airspace around you that are
Dude.
identical as well.
That's really cool.
Let's
Yeah,
do a video,
it's
Gus.
crazy.
Let's do a video where you and I, you can fly, and we'll go to LA from Austin.
What it sounds like is
Like a
that
3 hour.
me, John, and Gus will make a video of us flying.
Son of a
I just want to be
bitch!
I just want to be a passenger. I'll just go get like some peanuts and ginger ale.
Some
There it
people
is.
some people have suggested that we should make a video where Chris flies a plane and I tell him what to do because of Black Box Down. But I have to remind those people, I'm not a pilot. Like, I don't know how to actually fly a plane.
Yeah.
I could
Like
be
it's
like,
different
oh,
in
I could
Factorio.
say,
You
like,
knew.
we should be taxiing right now, or we should be taking off right now, but I couldn't be like, hit this button or pull that lever. Like, I don't know.
Maybe
a
you'll
really
get to a
good
point where you can.
collaboration.
Yeah, I want
A
to.
really
I
good
want to do that.
collaboration would be if we could get Thomas Middleditch. He is both a gamer and actually a real life pilot. Thomas Middleditch from Middleditch and Schwartz, that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Silicon Valley. He flies planes. And in fact, he was, and I think still is. He flies. He volunteers for this like volunteer service to transport animals like dogs that need to get to a different place, and he's kind of married multiple loves of his together into an activity that he can do. That's a charity activity.
We might have an in with him.
Ooh.
That'd be so cool. He's been streaming at home. He also streams on Twitch. Like, he's a total gamer boy.
I commented on one of his Instagram posts where he was eating ice cream, and I said, "Nice cream." And then he followed me.
Good one. Good one.
He was like, "This woman is funny."
A+
I'm
comedy. Yeah. So
You should definitely ask him. I mean, I know him and
slide into those DMs.
well, Ben Schwartz is like good friends with the Game Grumps guys, and he's done multiple videos with them. And then him and Tom did a video together with them, and even Thomas and Ben did a video for Netflix playing Animal Crossing. So they're totally doing it. So yeah, you should actually
boys.
slide into those DMs and get Thomas.
Yeah,
to do
I hopped into a Mario Kart with all those lads, and they are extremely good. Like it's nothing like playing with people at Achievement Hunter. They're
Which lads
nuts.
are you referencing?
Like Game Grumps people and
Yeah.
Amir and Ben and all that.
Okay.
I've just done a few games with them.
Like, you mean good as in like good at the game, or like funny?
Well, I mean, I wasn't talking to them. I was. They were just good at the game. I said I like joked with one of them that like if this was the trailer for Mario Kart, no one would buy it because it's just like everyone going past you, sucking dicks at the back.
It's funny. I follow both Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz on social media, and Ben Schwartz was talking about there was a Vans and Simpsons collaboration, which I knew about from Tony, who works at Rooster
Tony
Teeth, with us,
Simonetta.
who's like a fan of all things. How do I describe it, John? How would you
He's a
describe
pop
it? Like,
culture aficionado.
yeah, and so he knew I liked The Simpsons, and so he linked me to these two. But Ben Schwartz was talking about these Mr. Plow vans, which for anyone who knows Simpsons knows Mr. Plow, iconic episode. And he was talking about how he was bummed out that they were sold out. And I was like, damn, like, I wish I knew about this too. I would have totally gotten it. I went on the site after tweeting that. And luckily, because I have freakishly small feet, specifically size 5.5 male, I was able to snag a pair of Mr. Plow vans. And I'm the happiest person in the world. Because look at these babies.
Damn. That's pretty sweet.
Wow.
You got to get a Mr.
awesome is
Plow
that?
jacket to match with him.
I know. That name
So
again.
you can't wear a female size equivalent.
Oh no, this is a women's 7, but
Oh,
I think because Vans, at least the page I was on, they were putting everything in male sizes. I think you could see where it lines up for female sizes, but
Why is there a difference between female and male foot sizes? Never understood that.
I don't know. That's a good point.
I think it's probably based on like the average spectrum of size, and so they I don't know, they probably just try to make like the middle average.
Yeah, but it's a numerical. It's a numerical value. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm 5'10" women, but I'm like a 6'2" male." It's like, what? It's numbers. Just make them make the scale numbers. What?
Yeah,
Well, they do the
that's a
same
good
thing
point.
with fashion.
They did the same thing with what?
Well,
With fashion clothes.
fashion though is different though because, well, how is
No,
it?
but I'm saying like a small women's is different than a small men's. It's different size. It's
Well,
not
that's
just
'cause-
small is
Right, but that's not a numerical thing. That's just small.
That's
that's
a,
like
well
a
then
word.
women's have numerical numbers to like their
clothing sizes are such bullshit in general. Because even a women's small in one store would be a women's like large in another store. They're so not
but-
right across the board.
He's
John,
mad
you're
about
saying
the
there's-
numbers.
there's-
He's mad about
there's
the numbers.
numerical
I hear you.
values.
I hear
You're
you.
saying like
I hear
a
you.
32 waist. That's
Okay.
just
I-
32 inches.
I found an answer. You're not going to like it, Gavin.
Okay.
So a lot of people agree with you. It seems like the problem is that they do that to differentiate because in general, men and women's feet are also different widths. So by having different sizes, different designations for men and women, they can also approximate the width. And so men's shoes are slightly wider than women's shoes.
That's
That
I'm
actually
not sure
makes
I'd
sense.
notice I'm just not sure I'd notice if my shoes were too wide.
we also realized in this
You would notice if they were not wide enough.
Yeah, you would
Figuring-
definitely notice if they were too tiny.
Yeah. But
having
I'm saying
figured
like,
out. Sorry, go for it, Gavin.
nah, I'm just not. It's clearly a system that works. I don't know why I'm fighting it. All right.
I was just gonna say, having figured out that I'm size 5.5 men's, Trevor's a size 12, so my foot is less than half the size of his. Like, that seems weird to me, and like that's not right, because my foot is definitely not the half size of Trevor's. But it is funny seeing like my shoe and then his shoe.
I should do the thing where my girlfriend currently, she's super tiny, but I should do that thing that people have been posting the videos of where they mount their camera at the height that their partner is, and then take a video looking down so they can see the perspective that their partner sees them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because aren't you and Esther also a bit of a different size differentiation?
It's a big difference.
So you'd figure out where your eyes line up, Gus. You'd put the camera at an angle, and then you'd video, and then Esther can see how you see her.
I'm also curious to see from her perspective what I look like. Like, it's not flattering to look at yourself from under your chin up.
I mean, yeah, I should do that with like my kids and see like what my 7-year-old sees when she looks up.
Yeah, if I had a kid, it would just be 2 nostrils would be the point of view.
That's funny.
Oh man, I don't know what everyone else has been up to, but I watched a couple of documentaries this weekend, and one of them was about a story that we've talked about on the podcast before. Do y'all remember years ago, a long time ago, we told a story about this guy in Colorado who got really mad at everyone else in the town, so he converted a bulldozer into a tank, and he like went and demolished a bunch of buildings in his town.
Jesus Christ, no. What?
Faintly.
Yeah, there's a documentary on Netflix about it called Tread. It's like 90 minutes long, and it's like this guy just feels like he was wronged by everyone in this town for years, so he's like an expert welder, and he just welded a bunch of steel plates to a bulldozer, and like to where it was impossible for anyone to shoot him and stop him. It was impossible for anyone to get into it. He was controlling it by cameras that he had mounted externally that were feeding into the inside of the tank, and he just goes around and like demolishes the buildings that were owned by everyone that he felt wronged him in the town.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a wild story, and they have a lot of footage of him actually going around and doing this.
What happened to him then?
Well, ultimately what happened was, spoiler, he was demolishing this one hardware store, but what he didn't realize was in the back of the store there was a basement. So when he got to that part of the store, half of his tank, like half of the treads went into the basement and half of it didn't. So he no longer had enough traction to drive around, and he got stuck.
My God.
Is he in prison?
No, he did not want to be taken alive.
Oh no.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Is the other documentary you
should watch
watched?
it.
Is the other documentary you watched Howard? The story of Howard Ashman from Disney fame.
I thought about it. Did you watch it? Is that good?
I'm 2/3 of the way in. For my interest, it's very good because it's all about Broadway musical theater and the Renaissance era of Disney, including the writing of the songs, the lyrics and songs of like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, all of those, and it's incredibly interesting. I never knew that Howard Ashman, who wrote with Alan Menken, we all know Alan Menken, and he's still around doing stuff. They're the ones who made those songs, like every song in Beauty and the Beast. They're the writers of that, and he was also the original writer and I believe director of the Broadway production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That was his first thing of fame. But it's a really interesting documentary. I'm only 2/3 of the way through. It's mostly like still frame imagery and then audio from interviews because they didn't have a ton of video footage of him. But one of my favorite details was that he was just a creative genius. Like people constantly went to him to help talk through like creative problems, and he would either have a good take or a answer for how to solve things. And when they originally designed Ursula from Little Mermaid, they had written her to be a very much like a, I think the way they describe it is like a Joan Rivers character, where she was very lithe and skinny and high cheekbones and that kind of thing. And they had
like
several
a
designs, and they had
kind of thing.
And then they had one character that was based off of Divine, the drag queen. And Howard was like, that's your Ursula right there. And then like he recorded like the song of like, Poor Unfortunate Souls and paired it with that. But like the reason why Ursula looks the way she does and actually never realized this is based off of Divine, which is amazing, is because of Howard Ashman.
Yeah, I mean that period of Disney movies was like the rebirth, right? Like almost like a renaissance.
It's called the Disney Renaissance, yeah.
For Disney animation. I felt like it had floundered for a while, and then they had several movies in a row. All of those, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, or just like they were Little Mermaid. Yeah, they were just knocking it out of the park.
Well, it was a lot of it had to do with Howard Ashman's approach, and he wanted to make them more like musical theater and apply that like whole element to it a whole bunch more. Like previous films had used music, but they hadn't written it like musical theater, and so he was a big reason why that era worked, alongside a bunch of other creative geniuses that did amazing stuff, including I can't remember the artist who was basically responsible for the look of all those, that Disney look, and the very like biologically looking bodies that had muscle and skeletal structure much more so than previously. What's his name? He's still alive and doing stuff.
Walt Disney?
No, he's not alive and doing stuff.
Do you guys have a favorite Disney villain? I know we're talking about Ursula. Ursula is definitely up there for me. Jafar's great. I think he took the gaunt, high cheekbones look from that direction of villain. I was rewatching Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Judge Frollo, something like that. I think it's Frollo, yeah.
He's amazing. And the stuff they got away with in that movie that has to deal with so much that's way headier than most other Disney, like Lion King is a bunch of animals dealing with just food and that kind of thing. The Hunchback of Notre Dame deals with like lust and bigotry and corruption in the religious system. Like that's what that movie deals with.
Well,
but it has talking gargoyles, so it's fine.
Lion King's just Hamlet, isn't it?
Lion King is Hamlet.
Yeah.
I think the best Disney villain is Woody from Toy Story.
Whoa, how brave of you to say.
You rewatch it. He really is a villain.
Jeremy Irons is pretty good as a villain.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons is so good.
I will say Gaston, I think, has some of the best songs out of any Disney villain. His song in Beauty and the Beast is probably one of my top Disney songs of all time. I see some people in the chat saying Hades, also great, from Hercules. Top notch.
They have
Captain
footage
Hook.
of the actor who sang Gaston in that Howard Ashman documentary, and it's always, I always forget how different the actor looks than how Gaston is. He's a smaller guy who's blonde haired, and he's attractive, but he's definitely not this giant beefy dude. But he's in the recording booth. He's like, right from the moment that he's like really low and guttural.
I always heard that
Acting.
Jeremy Irons like messed up his voice trying to sing "Be Prepared," so they had to replace him. So it's not him singing.
Did he mess up his voice, or did they replace him because he couldn't hit the notes they needed?
I don't know, but if you listen carefully to that song, it actually sounds like he is singing some of it.
Yeah,
and then they maybe switch like towards the end.
They do. When he's in the talk singing parts, it's him. And then when it goes much more melodic near the end, they switch to the other actor.
Yeah, who sounds like he's American in comparison to the British tones of Jeremy Irons.
Well, it wasn't very common early on in a lot of the Disney movies for the voice actor to be the same as the singing actor. They were quite often different people.
I mean, are they the same person in the newer stuff, like Frozen and stuff?
It's kind of become this precedent that in live action and in animation, people want them to be a one-stop shop of talent. They don't want that to be that differentiation of someone else like dubbing in someone singing. So yeah, it kind of became a thing that vocalists did a lot of their singing. But the same thing, Lion King, there's multiple people who did singing for some of the VO stuff. I don't believe what's their face, Simba and Nala were the same actors. I can't remember. They should have dubbed out what's his face from the live action one who was Pumbaa. What's his name?
Oh,
Pickles guy?
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen was Pumbaa,
American
does his
Pickle
best.
was the movie
He-
that came out.
He does his best to sing next to Billy Eichner, but it's a bit of a rough patch.
It's a no-no. Also, like, it's so hard doing those live-action versions of Disney movies because you're constantly comparing it to the classic that is the Disney movie itself, and the voice talent and the acting and everything. So I don't know. It's hard to compare anything to the classics like that.
I just got kicked out of vMix. What is happening to the internet today?
No, I see you. You're still there.
You're still
No,
there.
I know. I had to reconnect, but it was
You had
like,
to
oh, you
reconnect?
got booted. Was I
Gashi
there the whole
Bizzle.
time?
Yeah, you
Son of
probably
a
were
bitch.
you probably were just frozen. That's what happens when someone
I
drops out. They get frozen.
Oh yeah, the last frame
Yeah.
is what we see.
Yeah. So just to let
I
it go.
have a story I want to tell before the end of the podcast because I met an interesting character that I would love to describe to you guys.
Tell us.
Please.
Was
and
it
then
me?
Gus,
I
we
met-
have to eventually talk about something else, Gus. You and
Oh,
me.
okay.
Okay, I'll make this very quick. It's just the most interesting side of the street homeless man I have ever seen.
Oh no.
Ever. So I'm driving in the west part of Austin, in the Westlake area of Austin, and I'm coming up on a freeway exit into going under the underpass, and there's a guy ahead. I'm like 12 cars back from the light, and I see a guy ahead in the divider who's got a cardboard sign and is doing the thing where he's panhandling, that kind of thing. And as I get closer, I realize he's not doing a conventional panhandling technique. Instead, he is holding the sign with one hand. He is flipping off all the cars with his other hand, and the sign just simply says "Fuck Westlake pigs." And he is doing this to all the cars. He randomly is picking some of the cars and screaming obscenities at them. Must have been, I didn't have my window down, but I assume it was some sort of eloquent manifesto
Probably.
of his distaste with pigs. And then as he's kind of making his way down, he also decides to switch from the middle finger and goes to the ball grabbing kind of move where you kind of like shake grabbing your balls at someone else, and you're like, yeah, I don't really know what message that tells, but it is distasteful. So I think that's what he was trying to
Yeah.
convey. And then his opus of this performance was he eventually turned around, put his head between his thighs and flipped off the cars, threw his leg upside down through the crotchular region of his body, so that
I
we got
stand him.
anus,
I stand his
face, and middle finger.
Knows how to
Was
send
he-
a message.
Was he getting a lot of money?
He was surprisingly not getting a lot of takers. And I was a bit taken aback by this performance. I assume it was a one-man show. He was workshopping in public, and I didn't take the time to roll down my window and hear the lyrics. I assume
That's
The lyrics.
So is that like an overly affluent area that he has a problem with?
it is the affluent area of Austin. And he was apparently just not happy with them, and was showing that through his piece.
You know, if you're allowed to peaceful protest, and that sounds like what he was doing. Although, yeah, I mean, I guess if he's only touching himself.
Yeah, he was just he was just grabbing himself, and that was it. So it was fine, and I wish him best in all of his endeavors.
Dude, I'm just impressed by that head between the legs, upside down, flip off like that. Chef's kiss, my friend.
That's a lot of energy to be putting out there, because it's been really hot the past few days too. So I imagine he's probably pretty hot out there doing that.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Death Valley register like the hottest temperature on Earth?
Yeah, I think it was like 130 degrees.
Yeah,
Oh god.
It was like
It was-
50 something.
yeah. It was Death Valley's hottest temperature ever, is what it was.
It was pretty
was,
hot
Which
Which is
in Austin,
typically the
too.
hottest place on planet world.
Yeah, it was 107 here over the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
I
too
sent a
hot.
screenshot to my girlfriend that I thought was funny, because my phone, when you look at it at night, it tells me what the forecast will be for tomorrow, and it tells me like what the temperature difference will be today. And I sent her a text and I said, it's going to get cooler, because today it said it was going to be 100 degrees, which is 7 degrees cooler than yesterday. So I was like, oh, it's
enjoy
gonna be
it.
nice and cool today.
Wear a sweater. Yeah, I know it was hot this weekend because Trevor and I went for a walk that could not have been more than 15 minutes, and we both fell asleep the second we got home, and it was like
I
mid-afternoon.
thought you were gonna say you fell asleep on the walk.
It was so hot, we just passed out in the middle of the street. No, we got home and immediately we're just like, I'm so fucking exhausted all of a sudden, because the heat just drains you when it's that high.
Yeah, gets you a good heart rate up.
Yeah, getting some vitamin D too, which is nice. Haven't been doing as much as that as I need to. Yeah, get that vitamin D.
Barbara, you had something you wanted to make sure we talked about.
Yeah, I want to make sure we talked about this because I spent all week making sure I did my homework for Gus.
What are we doing?
Trevor and I started and finished all of Indian Matchmaking.
Oh, you watched it.
Wow.
The whole thing on Netflix. We watched
It's
all
sad
the
because
episodes.
it's only like 8 episodes.
Which is something I want to talk to you about. And I know this is going to be very niche because there's obviously not everyone in our audience has watched it. You guys haven't watched it, so I apologize. But
They
there's
should watch
got to
it.
be another
It's good.
season.
Yeah, I would imagine. It was really entertaining, and it's really well done. I think what I said last week was like, you feel really invested with some of the people on that show, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
almost like characters, that are written, but it's real people. Like you're watching their story unfold, but it's like it's not a story; it's their life. The way that they're navigating these situations, and I think they just do such a good job of like weaving that story through where it's real life. I know I keep saying story. Where like
Story.
people disappear or they like leave the show and then they come back, and just watching people grow and change throughout the course of the show. It's just really phenomenal.
Yeah. I think the reason why I think there has to be a season 2 is because it, like, I think you talked about this last week, but they essentially like keep introducing new people as other people. Like you're like, okay, this is kind of resolved, so we're going to move on to like new people. They introduced a new person in the last like 4 minutes of
Right.
the last episode. And I'm like, what? Is there more? Like that can't be happening.
Yeah, they introduced that person, and I checked how much longer was on the episode. I was like, this is the last episode, and there's only like 3 minutes left.
That'd be like Frodo in Mount Doom about to throw the ring into the fire, and they introduced the Hobbit that was there the whole time. They just never talk about. There's another one. Oh, this is Kevin. He's been here the whole time, and there goes the ring, and that's the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. What did you all think about it? What did you and Trevor think about it?
We really liked it. It was very entertaining. But I also like, because we talked about Love Island and The Bachelor and all those types of shows, I love shows like that, reality shows about dating and finding love and stuff like that. I think it's so entertaining. So, Gus, I feel like you might like Love Island if you liked Indian matchmaking.
I feel like those people, I feel like on Love Island and shows like that, like people play it up for camera. I felt like with Indian matchmaking, it was a lot more genuine. It was people who were like a lot more authentic, and there just happened to be a camera there documenting the process.
It is a very interesting thing. Like I know that in that culture, arranged marriages are very prevalent and have been for a really long time, and they still are to this day. So it was weird to see one particular couple where they met, and like so many of these first meetings are with the entire families too. So it's so awkward of just like, hello, nice to meet you. Here's my parents and my grandmother and my sister. Let's have an awkward first date all together with both of our families.
Nope.
Yeah.
But to see that one particular guy who like met this girl and her family, and they seemed really awkward together, and like they weren't really talking much, but like they'd show them on the phone later and it was still awkward. And then he was talking to his cousin. He's like, yeah, I think I like her. I think I'm going to say yes. And then they're engaged.
Right.
It's just insane. It's
well, like they say it. A couple of different people say it at different times throughout that show. It's like, yeah, we'll get married and then we'll find love later. Like we'll just make sure that we're compatible. We have the same goals, and then we'll build something from that. It's about, I guess, like being open and honest from the beginning, making sure that you want the same things, and then just working to find middle ground from there.
That's bonkers. Coming from someone who did the opposite and had a failed marriage, I can't imagine. That's not how it can work every single time, where you can just match up with somebody and then figure it out. Nope.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's enough people in the world, enough other people where you can be like, this person I get on with really well. I can't imagine just finding the nearest person and being like, that's probably the one, without really knowing. That's crazy.
They
don't find the nearest person. I mean, like they deal with this matchmaker who makes sure who presents them people who are aligned with their way of thinking and with aligned with their values and the stuff that they want. So it's not like they're just randomly picking a name out of the phone book.
I don't even know what I want. How is a matchmaker supposed to know what I want and find me a proper? That's
why the family's involved.
Yeah, it's just such a
My
fascinating...
family could not be able to tell you who I'm supposed to date.
Do you think it's a good system? Like having more experience.
I think
with seeing
if people are into that, yeah, I think it's good for some people, absolutely. And
I just feel like
there's people in that show who like they call a marriage like we think of it, they call it a love marriage. There's people in that show who've been through love marriage, like it not work out, and they're like, you know what, love marriage didn't work, I'm gonna try arranged marriage, and so like they're pursuing that to see.
Yeah, but what's crazy is they have
I
marriage.
Wanting to try it, but I feel like a lot of families are more strongly opinion than others. So one family might be like, doctor, get that one, but just because it's a doctor, not necessarily knowing if they're a good match.
You should absolutely watch the show because that happens on a very frequent occasion of people being like, oh, I'm just going to let my mom decide who I date in this case and ask all the questions and stuff like that.
Is there a rave happening in Gavin's room right now?
A rave?
You got like something is like flashing lights and changing colors.
It's like pulsing.
It's on like sound mode. I don't. My ceiling light doesn't work, so I have to use my fancy lights for just light.
But I was so upset with there was that person that Nadia goes out with for a while.
Yeah.
Who you think it's serious, and then he ghosts her twice. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Dude, that whole thing, I couldn't tell if that was just, it didn't work out and then they had to add some type of narrative to make it, like, explained why it didn't work out. Like, that he ghosted her or something like that, because it seemed, like, very set up in that way.
It was weird.
It was very weird.
I feel like, for me, just hearing about it's just one of those things where it's like, if you don't grow up with that environment, it sounds crazy, but to them, that's perfectly normal, and the way other people do it is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had that so much switching countries where it's like, I guess it is strange that when I was in England, I would have like 6 to 8 cups of tea in a day, and now I don't do that as much because there's not one always sticking the kettle on. To the point where it's like, maybe that was a bit strange.
Maybe it's a little excessive. Who knows? But yeah, the first episode, I think the matchmaker says like, in that culture there is love marriage, which is like what I think a lot of people in the US and the Western world are used to, but they have marriage and love marriage. So like marriage is typically arranged or determined by the family or in some capacity. So that was like instantly so weird to me and so foreign to me, but it was very entertaining and really
it really grabs you, right?
Yeah,
like from the beginning, and you're like I started watching. I was like, I don't know if this is something I'm gonna like. And you start watching. You put it on. You're like instantly, you're like, oh no, this is really enthralling, and I want to see where this is gonna go.
Okay, then 2 things. 1, I'm gonna try an episode this week. I'm gonna give it 1 episode, and that one episode can grab me.
It'll drag you.
You know if
it'll grab you.
2, I have to address something in chat. There's a bunch of people who are saying that my mom should pick my girlfriend or my partner or my boyfriend for me. Hey, chat, spoiler. My mom hooked me up with my my ex-wife. She was the one who chose the woman that I married. Not always going to work out. That's not going to be a good idea every time.
You pretty much did an arranged marriage?
It wasn't arranged, but my mother introduced us and was definitely she was definitely pro putting us together and really trying to do her best to get us to hook.
So she has a really bad I wouldn't say bad taste, but
she just didn't
not the best
know
judgment.
Me, and I didn't know me. I got married when I was 22.
Whoa.
Don't get married when you're 22.
Well,
which is funny because in Indian matchmaking, it's like you're 25 and you're single. What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
you
what are you waiting for?
You can get married when you're 22. It's fine. I'm screaming at John from 2008, whatever it was.
I mean,
don't get
divorce it's. I feel like the stigma on a divorce is way less than what it used to be. Now it's like, get married, feel like it, get divorced, get married again, sod it. It's just extreme dating.
Yep.
It's a bit more cumbersome than just that, but yes, I agree that it's a bit more
dating with insane
accepted.
amounts of paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
and judges.
But really, it's like in terms of what changes in your life, if you've already lived with that person, it's not a ton day to day. It's just like an extra step.
And that's where I went
really?
wrong. We didn't live together before we got married. So that was also a problem. I highly recommend you live with each other before you get married.
I would agree with that.
I love how Peter
you don't
Hayes
really
in chat was like, "Give her another chance."
Give her another chance.
I think he's referring to your mom, not your ex-wife.
No.
I feel like the living together is the most important stage.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, all these people on Love Island are like, "I want to marry you. I want to do. We gotta have kids." It's like you've only lived with each other with other people on television. Like you don't know how you fit into each other's actual lives.
You don't know what it's like getting food poisoning from getting Greek food together.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know what it's like falling asleep on a hot walk together.
You might. You could do that without living together. Yeah, it's important. I don't think I'd be able to commit myself to somebody long term without having spent that time. Because even if you date for years and spend a lot of time at each other's places, it's not the same as actually sharing a space and sharing stuff and responsibility and things like that.
Well, that's even something I didn't learn until I got divorced, because I didn't live alone until I was divorced. And I realized that's my preferred state, is living alone, is that I have to have a lot of separate space in order to function properly. And so I don't really know if at any point in my life I'm going to have someone else live with me. It could change later on, but right now I'm like, I like having alone time, and you can't have that if you're married and live with each other from the get-go.
Have you ever found that being divorced has impacted any of your relationships after getting divorced? Like, has anyone really cared that you've been married before and you have kids?
I imagine it's probably more about the kids, right, than the divorce.
The kids is the bigger hurdle for some people to get past. Even though I'm obviously every single person I've ever gone out with, I'm like, you are not my kid's new mommy or daddy. I'm not looking for that. And I've always kept my kids quite separate from my relationships. I don't really even introduce them to the people until quite a ways in.
They also deal with issues like this on Indian matchmaking.
They do.
So we had a game we wanted to play tonight.
Right.
But we're running out of time. We really don't have time to do it. So hopefully we'll get to that next week. It's a game we can play next week as well. But we do have to wrap a little bit early today because we have a watch party coming up here in 10 minutes at 6:30. So
just stay here.
If you're watching live, stick around. There's going to be a watch party. I think John and Barbara, you're both in it, right?
Yeah, we're going to be watching.
Birds of Prey?
What's the full title?
The
Birds of Prey and the
Fantabulous
Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Something
it's
like that.
the Birds of Prey movie that has a longer title, which I can get to you. I'll say it at the beginning of the watch party, so you'll know it, and I'll give you. If you want to know the full title to it, come on over to the watch party. I know you're chomping at the bit to know that full title. So
genuinely a fun movie with a great cast and Ewan McGregor playing a flamboyant gay villain. It's fantastic.
It's so good. It's so much fun.
Stick around. Right now, that's about to start. If you're watching live on Rooster Teeth, and if you're watching this on demand, we'll see you guys next time.
I gotta get more claw.
Bye.